50-cent pieces. I still had $80 left over from, I think, Friday, wasn't it? I didn't do any yesterday. And I went down my little bank and grabbed $50 worth of 50s to go on top of that 80, which came from my normal bank. So I've got a mix of both. So I'm going to look through these ones first from my little bank, because that always does very well. And then we'll get into the other ones, see what we can find. Big day, different day today. 37 or 6 or 5 or whatever it got to yesterday, rotten hot. And today it's actually raining outside. just a little bit, just a bit of drizzle, but yeah, what a change. Anyway, we'll see what we got in here. Hopefully something nice. Looking for the crop circle on these, which is in that reed right about there. It looks like a donut, if you want to put it that way. For anybody that's not in Australia, anyone in Australia, I say it looks like a Fruit Loop. But it's a pretty good defined circle. They get a bubble here, nothing, and they get what's known as snake eyes just on here. It's just a series of cuds that have happened on the in the dyes, chips out of there, and they look like a pair of eyes, well, diamond eyes really, side diamonds, you know, sort of like that on both sides. But I've got 4 in a bag there that shows different variations of cuds in that area on the 22, and then I've got them just here to show no 2012, no crop circle, because one of them has got well, could be hundreds of dots on it, not just 1 or 2, but hundreds all over it on the reverse. Mainly all around here. I didn't see any down here, I don't think, but they're everywhere from here all the way around. There's all these nice dots. I'll show it anyway. Get that and show it. And then, how you going, buddy? Jobby? Your ears must have been burning, NN, because I'll tell you, on Facebook there was a post, and the person showed a coin, and he was wondering if it was a mint error or not, and it was an American quarter, and all from here around was just like a crinkled bit of paper, you know, really high and crinkled all over, and then over here was black mark and sort of flaking. And anyhow, I said to him that it's been hit with an oxy, it's been melted, because people were thinking it was done in the mint, but anything that's minted in the mints, no matter what it is going to end up flat because it's been struck. This was all raised up and really, you know, really raised up, like my finger, all over. And that can't be in the mint because it would be flat. Even when you get really bad stuff, it's still flat because it's been pancaked. So this was all raised, and it's all black over here anyway. And I mentioned in there that you had surprisingly melted one with a torch lighter. So I actually mentioned in there that a subscriber of mine had just done the same thing with a torch lighter and melted it completely, because they're pretty weak. All the nickel just melts off the top, and the copper, well, if you get it hot enough, that's going to melt. Oh, that's bad, eh? So anyway, so I mentioned that, so to let them know that that's what happens when you hit it with a bit of heat. And then I noticed just 5 minutes ago, just before I was on here, I was checking my posts on there, and Christine Brown had actually commented on that very post, because I shared it to my feed, or my profile, whatever it goes to. And she said on there, but why? Why do people do that? And so I put on there to ask you, because I said, I said, NN, I said, ask NN. He just did it. I said, and it completely melted. And he did it with a torch lighter. I said, so he'll have the answer to why. Why did you do it? She wants to know. Why, or not yet, but why do people do that? And well, because you can, because experimenting, just wondering what happens. So that would be my thing too. It's just a case of curiosity is probably the main reason. What will happen if I do this? I've done it with coins, different things. So anyway, yeah, so I got to mention you. I wasn't here that melted the coin. Who melted the coin? Oh well. I thought you said that you hit an American coin and melted it with a torch. Or was it, must have been, if it wasn't you, it must have been Gary or Dave. Anyway, either way, someone had mentioned that they'd melted it with the lighter torch, and was surprised that it was melted. Yeah, because it was in the live last week. So I was doing the live, and I thought it was you, because we were talking about foreign coins. But I'd have to have a look to see who mentioned it there. Anyway, they were surprised that it melted so easy. And I said, yeah, well, it's nickel with a bit of copper, and if you get enough heat on it, it will. But they hit it with the just the lighter torch and melted it. So I'm trying to think who's in, because there's just a few regulars that drop in there. So it would be Gary or Dave. Dave White, Dave Brown, Gary McEwen. I don't think it wouldn't be Wisey. He wouldn't have said it. But anyway, the fact is they melt easy. And people would do it just for curiosity. It's like, what happens when I do this, this and this? And yeah, mainly that's the reason people do it, because you're not going to pass that off for an hour. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Anything pre-65, you're allowed to, 75 they passed law, I think it was, in America, that anything must be pre-70, because they still had silver up to 70. So maybe anything 70 and under with silver was allowed to be melted down. Yeah, so you can, but yeah, not here. We've got no such law. Pre-decimals, yeah, you can do what you like with them. But they didn't have pre-decimal. They've had, their same currency right through. So they brought it in and set a year downwards that you could melt them or do whatever you want with them. Deface them, basically, is what they're saying. You can deface them from that down, which means you can melt it, cut it, chop it, make rings out of it, do whatever you want. But we don't have that law here at all. It's just plain and simple. Pre-decimal, yes, because it's not circulating coins, and anything that's not circulating coins, as in the old decimals, you can deface, do what you want. But from 65 is when they wrote the law, so we'll say 65 onwards, we have no such law, not for those silver 50-cent pieces, not our round ones. There's no law saying that you're allowed to melt them down, because you're not. They're legal tender, they're circulating coins, and you're not allowed to deface them, and you definitely can't melt them down. So, yeah. And they should be in here, because they should be circulating all 36 million, unless whatever's melted down, but they should be in here. But they're not, because everyone's kept them for their silver, waiting for the day, even though the shops, you know, local shops, I don't know how they get away with melting them down, but they do, to the day that the government passes law saying that, you know, the 66s and pre-decimals can all be done with what they like. But we haven't got that. We haven't done that yet. So I don't know how the coin shops get away with taking them down and melting them for scrap, because they're breaking the law. If they allowed to melt those 66s down, then I'm allowed to cut her head out of there and turn it into a charm and do whatever I like. And I can't. And if I can't do that to that, they can't do that to the 66s. They're circulating currency. But I don't see anybody from the mint or anything doing anything about that law, enforcing it. They could go into any local coin shop and find them have taken them down and melted them. Any one of them. How nice is that? 97. Got a couple of scratches, but that's a really hard condition coin to find. 4.3 mil. Yeah. You know, it might be a little bit scratched, but it's still got its luster there. You can get double bar shadow bars on these too. That hasn't got any. That's nice. Keep that one. 2000, come on. Millennium. Would be nice. I want another incuse from down there, which I got the other day. And Snapper's not on. Anyway, Snapper's pointed out something to me on these coins, which I hadn't taken much notice, but now I realise. But you see the flag on this one that's not incused, this normal flag. The incused one was the standard flag, because that was the first one they made. And they decided no, that they'll fill it in. So the first coin made was the incused. So, you know, first coin made was the standard to me, and these are the variety. And the standard, incused, they didn't make many of them. But they were the first before this one, so they have to, this has to be the variety, no matter how you look at it. But anyway, on here, what he saw, and I looked at my incused variety, is that the flag on this one points right to that corner. But the flag on the incuse sits, see that knob going out there? It points at that. So this one is pointing right into that, I don't know, 15-degree angle, whatever it is in there. But on the incuse, it's pointing up here. So the flag is tilted to the right, just like the Cook 7. So what's happened, I said to him, it must be that that flag design, when they did it on the original, the incuse, it was that way. That flag, if it was sitting there, was actually up there a bit like that, just a fraction. And if you look at your incuse, you'll find that it's not pointing at that center. It's actually up a fraction. So the difference is about, maybe a millimetre, half a millimetre difference. So the flag is also tilted to the right. It's tilted to the right. When they made it, not that, you know, it's not an error or stuff. It's just that flag for the incuse was actually tilted more up in the die. And this one is in line with that point. So I didn't notice that and whatever, but Snapper pointed it out and I checked mine, and yep, he's exactly right. That points into that corner, and the incuse flag is up further. It's pointing up here. So check yours out, see if you got them. But yeah, so there is a difference, not only in the incuse being there, and the flag, the star here being bigger on the incuse and smooth inside. This star's smaller and it's rough inside. It's got a rough surface. but the flag is also off skew to this one by, that's 30 degrees, probably 1 degree, probably nearly 1 degree difference. That's 30 degrees each one of these, because there's 12 of them. 12 thirds is 360 for a circle, so each one is 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 30 degrees. And it's just up a bit, so if you split that into 30, I'd say it'd probably be half a degree out, 1 degree. So anyway, just another thing to look at on the NIFC flag. It's got three things that are different on it. The placement of the flag is a bit higher. The NIFC flag and the star's bigger and smooth inside. These can get double shadow bars, which I got one the other day. Wisey, Dave, all right, so who told me last week, if it was anyone that's now dropped in, that they melted an American quarter or dime with a torch lighter and they were surprised that it melted? Is that any of you guys that have dropped in? I thought it was NN, but he said it wasn't him. It was somebody that dropped in that's a regular and said that they yeah, I don't think it'd be you, Wisey. I was thinking it was Dave Brown and Dave White or Gary. But anyway, it was somebody that was in last week when it was the day, the very start, I showed some coins that I just found in the coin machine, and there's an American quarter that was in there. I think it was the Florida 2001 or something, the commemorative one, and somebody was in there and they said, oh, I melted one of them with a lighter, with a torch lighter, and it completely melted. They were surprised. Oh no, you can melt them. If they're silver content, anything with silver content you can melt down. That's what that law passed. Well, not just silver content, anything, the coppers as well, or the 1 cents and that too. But I'm pretty sure it's anything from 70 down. You can melt it down and do whatever you want. But here it's 64 and down, pre-decimal. Snakes, no dot. Yeah, so anyway, somebody dropped that and said it, but there was a post on Facebook and then somebody found a coin and it's been hit with the Aussie and it just destroyed it on the edge, and they were wondering if it was an error or not from the mint. But it's all black over here too, you can see where it's been melted. But yeah, they buckle up and melt pretty good. The nickel first and then the copper underneath. Let's see if I can get some more light. Not that one. Let's pile through. Oh look! Oh yeah, you're kidding me! 2 in a row. I got one from one of them. I'll have to look. Say 2, 3 noodles back, and I said that completed the set. These are hard to find, the South Australian. Same as the ACTs. They're the 3 you'll get stuck on. ACT, South Australia, and Norfolk Island, which I still need. And with that in the Norfolk Island, I'll find one, they'll give me another set. So yeah, 2 to 3 million on them, 9 states and territories, and 1 Federation coat of arms to put with it. So there's 10 coins. That one, special coat of arms, and 9 states and territories. But that's really hard to find, And I get 2 in a row. I won't knock that back. oh look, I'm saying that crop circle where it happens is in the worst spot. I keep seeing these being hit and hit and hit. And look, here's proof. Every time they're all, so it's in a real vulnerable spot, the crop circle that happens just here, the die crack, circular die crack, because I just keep finding the hits. So even if you get lots of them, eventually those lots that all of us have got will be minor for outside, because you've got to be able to define that it's a crop circle. You can't have hits on it. It's got to be clear. You can have hits around it, but it's got to be clear. But anyway, that's just to show you that area where the crop circles are on these and the dot on the 22s are very vulnerable. So they won't be around for very long because they're going to get damaged in that area. So you want to be pulling them out now and keeping them, all of them. Even if you think you got too many, you can spend them later. You won't lose any money, 50 cents. It's face value. So yeah, I would, for sure. I'd be keeping all of the crop circles. I wouldn't, even if you got 40 of them, I'd be keeping them, because they will become extinct from their own little meteorites hitting them in that spot. And you won't be able, people won't be able to define them, say, oh, it's a crop circle, and you'd be like trying to get through all the hit and around it to see if it is there. And that, you're not going to buy stuff like that or want stuff like that in your set. Nice big cut on the back of the roux. The roux reed, that's a nice big one too. That's a 16, 17, yeah, 17, yeah, they get them quite large on the back there. So chip out of the die, and then you normally get on his feet down here, around the shield, up here, around the top, down there, and on the back can be, and you can get those dots on this too, in and around this area. Always look. I'd say whatever they've cleaned it out with those dots, you know, a rag or something, they've just left debris behind that's stuck to the grease on the rag. And when they're cleaning it, they actually put stuff on because they haven't used a clean rag. And it just leaves debris, and that debris has to go somewhere. And it'll stick itself into the die. And that first strike, it might actually stay in the coin and leaves a ding in the die, and then from then on it leaves all the dots on it, or the bits that have gone into the die disintegrate and leave holes, and then you start getting all these dots. I'll show you this one I got. They're everywhere. But I've seen them on many coins with all the dots, but normally they're all around here. If you look in here, you'll see when you do have them all here and all up the back there. But the one that I've got in the bag there is all up the top, all in here. Different place that I've seen it before. And that's the 22 where it gets the snake eyes, which is what I thought. It's not going to be consistent. You're going to get a few that got snake eyes, but you'll have the before and then after where it disappears. So I think the snake eyes will be a progression error where it's in the middle of that error. Before that it gets to it, which I've got, excuse me, on those couple of 22s I got there, where it shows I've got it, just one eye, then one eye and a bit of eye. So eventually it gets the snake eyes, and then it'll go from there, get worse, until they find it and change the die or repair it. Yeah, it's not consistent. Like that crop circle that's on there is just consistent, just happened. So it stayed in there for a while. And the one that's under the chin that you get on the 21, you get a crop circle under the beak, not the chin, under the beak on that reed, and you can get a full dot, which I have. And if you get a full dot there, look down here, because there's also a full dot on there that matches, and all three of mine have a dot there and a dot underneath that beak where the crop circle is. So it starts as a crop circle, eventually turns into a full chip out of the die, and the crop circle looks like a donut. So eventually it chips right out, fills that center up, and you get a nice perfect round dot there. And like I said, all three of mine have got a perfect round dot there. I haven't found one of these with the crop circle underneath, the donut, to be able to check to see if it's got the crop circle starting down here, or a dot. or anything at all. Just to determine what ones are coming from what dyes, that's all. Yeah, so that's the 22. So there's nothing on that 21, a crop circle. But yes, I would keep them because they're very vulnerable. They'll end up disappearing, any of those sort of things. But the snake eyes isn't a consistent the same. It's built up to that. There'll be snake eyes in between, so you want to grab them because they're going to be scarce because you got your build up to it. Then you got your proper snake eyes with diamond and the diamond. And after that, it'll start deteriorating more. I don't know what it'll turn into then. I've only got the ones pre that. They might have found it and replaced the dye. So I dare say the actual snake eyes itself will be a limited run. Not a limited run, a limited amount, because it's when it gets to that point that it creates them. There's the before, and I don't know what happens after. If it started off straight away and it was some sort of structure who caused those eyes to happen, it would stay the same right through. But it's not, it's die cracking and chipping is what's causing it. So you'll have your progressive error where it started off right through, gets the snake eyes, then goes to something else, or they replace it. So some errors are scarcer than others because of what they are, how they're made. Die cracks, chips, die cracks into chips, straight out chips. Yeah. Oh, it's a jobby. What, you only got Norfolk Islands? I used to have to. Well, I've sold them all. I've had tons. Yeah, the Norfolk seem to be a bit elusive for me at the moment. I'm getting the South Australians. I'm getting the ACTs. I've got 3 ACTs in a row. Now I've got 2 South Australians in a row, and they're the hardest ones with the Norfolk Island. But it seems, on saying that the Norfolk Island is the harder one for me to find. That 2016, just look for another dye that's been used in this. I had one and I checked it, and the only one I can compare it to is the proof, 50 cents for 2016. So I think the mints used some proof dyes to mint out some circulating coins, and you'll tell the difference. If you find one, you'll know it's so much thicker than this, and the top of that T is about 1/3 thicker again. That's what the giveaway will be, is looking at the thickness of that T. But if it's kept everything like the one I found, all of this detail is just immaculate, and it just stands right up because they've cut deeper, you know, for the proof dyes. A lot more digging goes on to make everything accentuate and stand up. The whole back looked like it was rounded over, it just stood up so much, and same as the front with her. And I checked with that years, and the only one I could find to match was the proof coins. And so look out for Variety out there, and they've used proof dyes to mint the 2016 coat of arms circulating coin. I've only found one, and that's gone. I've got pictures, I've got all that, and I've actually shown it anyway. I think I did a post, or if I didn't do a post, it's in the video when I found it. Yeah, what was that? The 22 gets cuts on the back of the roo as it gets worse. Yeah. All right, so so that's the snake eyes you're talking when it gets right to the snake eyes point or something, or past that, it starts getting problems with the back of the kangaroo. Yeah. All right, so that's what happens after that. So you get the snake eyes, and then after the snake eyes, you start getting problems across here. All right, so we get through these quicker. 2014 looking for a crop circle, which I found the other day, only my second one. And there's a crop circle you can get the same on that heel, so make sure you check both areas for crop circles, one there and one there. I've got two of them now. That's all I've found is two 2014. Really hard to find. Don't come across too many of them. Well, I haven't. Two. 79 double bars, 80 double bars. 6. Nothing wrong. 94 white date. Nope. 71. Get them in 10 times better condition. 22 bubble. 22 snake eyes. Something just starting there, I think. Yeah. 96. Get shadow bars on this, and so there you go about finding any of them in good condition. You'll be buying them for your sets, because you probably won't put up with anything coming out of here, even though they made 19 million of them. But finding anything like this when you would expect it to find something, no. I've got like 3 in 3 years, 2 years. They're really bad metal. They bash up easy. 7 mil on those. Change over 50 years of decimal currency. 94 standard date. Yeah, so 96 is very hard to find in good nick. The vast majority, you know, we're talking 99.99% of people who've got sets will be buying the 96. Even their noodling, they'll be buying it because every other coin they could find in almost uncirculated condition. But the 96, you'll be going the longest to find them, I reckon. That's an 80, double bar. Right there, double bar variety. Mint put them in the die by mistake and then took them out. So yeah, very good. They're not die cracks, which would be an error. They're actually in the die by mistake, which is a variety. Oh, yeah, you don't get many 50 cents in your change and that. Oh, look at that. The Masked Avenger. Oh, somebody's put a mask on her. You think they were against wearing masks for COVID? I think so. Eh? Unreal. Look at that. So yeah, they've dug it away. Eh? Little zzz, 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 zzz. Got the electric thing on it with the diamond head. Put a cross in here. Look at the copper showing through in there too. That's the copper in the metal, right? Showing through. Yeah, it is too. Whatever it hit it with that hard is, it's, you know, mixed it again or something to show that copper, because you don't normally wouldn't see copper through there if you cut it. Or silver. But yeah, they put a mask on her and crossed out the eyes. That's a deface. I mean, that is a proper deface. Not only they defaced the coin, but they defaced the face of the coin. Oh yeah, I'm going to keep that. Yeah, that's a protest there. Protest coin. But yeah, it's a no mask mandate protest coin. They should have put what state they were from on there, down here with the initials. Yes, so anyway, that's defacing the coin. That's not allowed. Yeah. There's another double bar. There's 79. There you go. Not, 10, 12, 80s to every 79. These are 24 mil. They're 38 mil. And they're a lot harder to find, eh? The 79s. And the condition too. You can find 80s in really good nick, but hard to find 79s in good condition. But anyway, we got a pair, 80 and 79, double bar varieties. So that, you'd be happy finding them if you haven't got them. Nice little pair. 22, 69. No, it's not too bad, you know. Yeah, that's not too bad for a 69. About buying one, and for the amount of time it takes to find a good one, been hit there. No? But I'll put that there because I got a set, trying to put a set or two together from not 69 through to 76 without the Captain Cook, just the coat of arms, all of them. And trying to see if I can put together a set or some sets with coins out of circulation to show how good a set you can get without buying it. A 72 or a 71. Set of the 50 cents in a row, and then I was going to, well, I haven't been doing enough coins really. I was going to do 71, 72s, you know, a set of them. I got a set of 71s that I found. They're all top nick for circulation. 18, under the radar, nice coins, minted really well. 5.4 mil or something on them. 5.7. And they're going to be worth money in the years to come, the 2018s, because they look really good. They're sort of lowish mint, and maybe not many people will keep them because they think that's a high mint. But 20 years down the track, when you're trying to look for them, people, they won't be able to find them like you're finding them still today from 2018, outdoing all the other coins, and in mint conditions. 22, no dot, no snake eyes. 22, no dots. Oh, it's got all buggy. No snake eyes there. Nothing else. Nice 82. If you're looking for 82s, you're going to find them. They're up in like 27 mil, 28 mils. They're 30s. They're high mintage anyway. So you'll find them in good nick. Well, that was all the 50s from my little bank. I'll just clear them off. Probably on the speaker, but sorry. Yeah, so that was from my little bank. That coin I put down, it's actually black as. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah. Yeah, it's black. They burn it with the Oxy afterwards too. They sure did. Yeah, so what do we get out of that little bank? I just want to see the comparison. So a pair of Variety 7980 double bar on the image head, so I got that. 69, that's not too bad for, it's not bad for a set. 69, you know, you can't expect too much if you're looking for them, about buying them. 17 error with the reed, got the cut at the back there. South Australia, and a 97, real nice 97. Like I said, it's got scratches, but you know, it's got its luster. Yeah, so that's pretty good. 7980 set, 69, nice. 17 error, that's a standard fodder. Really, you know, somebody not happy with the masking mandate with that one, Curiosity. South Australia in the real nice 97. So I'd be happy with just those two out of there. But getting those pair, and that's 69 to see what else I've got, if I've got a better one or not. But just that pair and those two, definite. And that one is an oddity, because just for showing around, somebody got real angry. They spent a bit of time on that too, so they were serious. So that was from the little bank. And now I'm still going on what I got Friday from my normal bank. Yeah. Yeah, the old oddities. I'll probably end up chucking it back in the bank anyway. I haven't got a folder or anything for oddities like that. Mainly just to show and tell you guys, and I'll toss it back in. I'm not really interested in them, and plus not only that, it's I don't want to encourage it, so keeping it and collecting them like that is a bit of encouragement, and I'm against that. I'm not for encouraging anyone to make fake anythings at all. So any damaged coins, I won't harp on them. But that one, yeah, a little bit, because it is having a bit of a dig at probably what most people didn't like. That 7 is just tilted a fraction, just misses that 9. So that 7 is a tilted to the right 7. It's not dead flat. You'll be able to tell the difference. That's the lowest tilted to the right 7 you can get. So when you run a line across the top of the 0 and the 7, it'll go to the rim. So that doesn't touch the 9. When they're dead flat, when you run it across, the 0 and the 0 to the 7 across the bar flat, it'll go across the 9. But this one here is just up, but it's just up, missing it. But it would be sitting on the 9 and the 0 and on top of that 7. You can see it's covering it. It's the slightest of slightest tilted to the right 7 variety, Captain Cook. It's not dead flat. It's just a fraction off. And that's the lowest. And I've found definitely no 3, and I keep saying 4, so I'm going to stick to 4. I found 4 tilted to the right 7. So this is the lowest one you can get. The hardest one to see on it. And then the next one is just tilted a bit more, and a bit more, and a bit more. So as they gradually, they must have used they've used 4 dies, and it started off at this angle, just that slight miss, absolute minor miss. And then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There's 4 of them. All right, so look for them. And the standard is a dead flat 7, which that isn't. You'll see the difference with the dead flat 7. It's flat. It is. You'll see. That's the hardest one to find. Is that one? So there's 5 of the cooks to get, the flat 7, and then 4 tilted to the right 7s. And I'll give you 5 Captain Cooks. But that's the hardest one. It's the lowest one. You know, if we said that was 2 degrees, then the next one is 4, the next one 6, and the next one 8. That's just giving you an example. That's what you're looking for. And rotated 2010 would be nice. 30 degrees out, the right 10. So one of these notches. Each notch is 30 degrees, 12 times 30, 360. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And the 2010 is out 1 notch. So somebody put the die in, but they put it in like that. 1 notch out. Because they can't rotate because they're not round. So they've actually put it in 1 section out, 30 degrees. 75, not bad. If it wasn't for all the green spots, I think I've got a 75. Yeah, I do. Nice 75. I think I want a better 76 to find. I did pick up a 73, nice one the other day. I got a nice 72 and a nice 71. And that 69 that I got just then, I'll have to have a look. Nothing there. No crop circles. 79. No double bar. Fungus. That's a bit too close, isn't it? Double bar 80. Let's see what they are. 2004. So you can get the shadow bars on that. 2000 millennium. Get the incused flag, which this isn't. And you can get die cracks at the end of those flag too. Those tips here. You can get die cracks from there to the rim. And on this end, nothing. 14 crop circle there, and at the feet down there, nothing. 74, nothing. Die Charles, you can get die crack off her from mouth to rim, not spitting flames out. Looks like a pizza, slice of pizza. Really, really badly die cracked, about ready to explode, I'd say. They didn't even pick it up. But I got one of them on an uncirculated roll of coins I had. It was the only one in there, which is a bleed. It's normally you get a roll of coins, you get one in there, you can usually get a couple more. But no, just the one. And it could have been that they found them and that one escaped, and whoever bought that one off me is laughing, because that might be the only one around. Who knows? $20.10 rotate. Not that one. The coat of arms. 25 years. Silver Jubilee. If you find one of these 77 and you turn it over, so if you had a 77 and you turned it over and it was this, book your holiday, book your weekend away, and take it down to Downies and see how many tens of thousands of dollars you're going to get for it. Alright, so that's on the 77 coat of arms. Under 10 known. Last one sold 2005, I think it was, for $7,500. So somebody made a mistake, or deliberately made a couple and slipped in a coat of arms onto the Jubilee. And they did the same with the tall ships. Someone did the same thing. There's tall ships with the coat of arms. And again, if you got one, turn the 88 or 77 over with that on there. That's the biggest find that you can have with the 50-cent pieces, is one of those two. There's nothing bigger. There's nothing bigger than those two. They are the Supremo, El Supremo 50 cents to find out there. 77 and 88 coat of arms, if they're out there. Or like I think somebody in the mint, a worker, made a couple, gave them out to their mates and told them, you can't spend it, you can't do nothing, blah, 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 whatever. And one of them got desperate for money and sold it. And then another one, and there's a few of each one being sold. So they couldn't keep their mouths shut, because I'd say they were just for them. If that's the case, they're not going to be out in circulation at all, unless they made some and tossed them in a hopper. They were made in the mint by someone, handed out to mates, friends, and some of them couldn't keep their mouth shut and sold them. There's the cud on the back of this that I've been telling people that I've been finding. So chip the die of the roux there. Yep. And that's the 2019 JC. And that's good, because I've been saying that from 2010 onwards, you can get, all the coins can get the reed cud here, or cuds up here and all around the shield and the 50 and the foot. And I said that they run from 2010 up to 2019 JC, not the IRB, but the JC. And well, this is the first one in, you know, months and months and months of me saying it, that's turned up to show that it does go up to the 2019 JC. These cuds on the back of the roo, they were still having problems back then, because that's the one right there, 2 million on that one, so low mintage. And it's a roo reed, and that makes number 4 for me of that one. Very scarce error. It's only 2 million, and I've only got 4 of them with this cuts on the back of that kangaroo there. So yeah, pretty scarce, that one, that error. So we're keeping that. The 2019 itself, I've kept a couple of them because they're 2 million, but you know, just a couple, that's all. But the error ones I'll keep all day because they're a low min with an error. That makes it even harder to find for anyone that collects errors and varieties or searches for them, you know. They'll want them, and it'll be hard to find. Look at the state of that 2014. Man, that is like beautiful. Brand spanking. Brand spanking new. Oh, it's luster, it's just sitting on it, eh? All in there, hasn't been touched. I'm hoping that this is the crop circle. That's what I'm saying, not for that, but crop circle. No, it's not. Geez, it's in beautiful condition though. It's just scuffed here on the high points. But yeah, crop circle there, or here. That would have been, if that was a crop circle, that would have been, you know, top of the range of any of them I've seen because of the condition it's in. The ones I've seen anyway. People obviously have them maybe uncirculated and that too. But out of here, that would have been El Supremo in that condition. Jeez. Ugh. So yeah, from 2010s onwards, that's where you get all the cuds here and all around the shield and the paws here. Dots all over it, all down here. I said that before, all them. The 22 has got them all up here, the dots. But I've seen lots of different year 50s with dots just all through here and at the back of him. There's dots everywhere, raised dots. But I don't see them up here. And the 22's got them, which I said I'm going to drag out and show you. 2004 shadow bars. So anyway, yeah, 2010 onwards with all them problems. Don't see many underneath that year. It possibly is, but it seems from 2010 onwards is where we would have started making the dyes, started having problems on the edges of that roof and all the shield and the paws down here. They were 97, big difference. Big difference. That's your standard 97. That is your standard 97. That's what your standard find is. This gets shadow bars as well. And that is not your standard 97. So yeah, 4.3 mil. No errors on that one. 78. Yeah, I was only going to go to 76 with those ones on collecting. Oh, you know what? I thought I did all those ones from my little. I can't see over in my left corner, and there was this one sitting there. So this is from my little bank too. Oh yeah, wouldn't it Wisey? A crop circle on that 2014 would have been fantastic, mate. That would have been like El Supremo, you know, the condition. because that was really nice. It's slightly dusted, you know, it's like the luster goes like a light dusting. It's hard to explain how it goes like it does. But yeah, it's like a light dusting of, I don't know, a silver mist. It's like a silver mist dusting is what goes on it. They look really good with that luster. 96. Shadow bars, not 21. Crop circle, no. You can get them with cud errors on the crown and hair, on the hair here in the corner of that crown, and small die cracks, and actually on the hair as well, or small cuds. I've got enough. I'm not really looking. I'm not looking for them. I'm just. I told you then, so yeah, look for them if you want. But I've got enough of them. Oh, no, the 18, and it's like that 14. It gets that dusting, the silver dusting, and see how well it keeps in there. 2018s. Really nice. My vote for best minted coin, for sure. The best minted and kept condition after minting, the 2018, by far, of any of the coins. Yeah. Oh, they're just consistent. There's not the odd one. The odd one is the odd one that looks like this, you know, and that's still really good. But they are exceptionally well made that year. They get my vote anyway. 2018. Crop circle, no, even that one would have been nice as a crop. Oh, look what we got here. Oh, Northern Territory. And you know what? I had one set and I kept saying to everybody I need a Norfolk Island for the completion. I was wrong. I had that. It was the Northern Territory I hadn't come across. This is another. This one again, this, you know, this will be in the 4. It'll be South Australia, ACT, Norfolk Island, and Northern Territory are probably the top. I know those 3 are, and I'd have to say this is probably your 4th one, is the Northern Territory. All the other states come up before this. No problems, no worries at all, they do. So that's number 4 in mine, is the Northern Territory. So I'll have to check to see what I got, but man, I've bought a few federations out lately. I've had about 12 of them in the last 3 noodles, 4 noodles. And a few of them to finish off my sets, or one set, and I'll have to check now. I haven't got a Norfolk Island, so no, I can't make any sets. I'll be stuck at like 8 coins, no Norfolk Island. I've got the federation to go with them. But I need more of these though, in top nick. I think I've only got 1 left to put it, because when I make a set, I'll do all 10. And I like to have the Federation coat of arms one looking, you know, at least like the 97, because there's 43 million of them, and you should be able to find one at some stage in top nick, which I haven't done lately. They're starting to go too. 96 shadow bars. Look, if I find one in top nick, you'll hear me crow about it. So just count how many times I'm crowing about a 96. You've probably got about 3 in the last 6 months, because they just don't happen. They're horrible. Let me just check over. Reef, how you going, buddy? I haven't been down to Willie's Milk Bar. You're going tomorrow. Excuse me. I'll be going down there tomorrow. No crop circle. No bubbles. So I'm looking underneath the beak for the bubble and the crop circle. They're 2 different looking. And a crop circle on the field. Right angles from that second, whatever that is, off the crown and hair up to a square angle. And that's where the crop circle is. 2014. And this crop circle is in that reading there and down on that heel. Exact same on the heel. Another 2014 teasing me. I got a crop circle the other day while I was waffling, surprisingly, and I looked at it. And I mean, you know, they're a bit of a whoopee coin to be finding. You don't find many of them at all. Not the 14s. Another 80 double bar variety right there to go with the 7980 I already got. So that was the finish of those coins from my little bank. So I scored another. So that was all right. So that's from my little bank, you know. Just out of 5 rolls, those two, that's pretty good. And that 97, that's pretty good. And the 70, tilted 7. No, that was out of one of them. No, that was out down there. The 19 was out there. But anyway, and another 80 double bar. So that was 3 more coins added in from that roll. But yeah, happy with the Northern Territory. Yeah, you don't come across them too often. All right, next one. I've got to have some breakfast, which is my ice break triple shot milk. It could be a Ron Burgundy moment. Milk was a bad choice. So my voice doesn't clag up. Come on, 85. So you're on my big bank now, as was the roll before the roll before. 2 rolls back. It's got a little bit going on there with the shadow bar. Just a little bit, doesn't quite more and a bit more, but you can just see where it's gonna get, where it's gonna end up being. There, you can just see them. They're not quite there. So that's the 2004 shadow bars, which is dye-wear. All the shadow bars are dye. The 79 and 80 are not dye-wear. They're not dye cracks. They were in there, so they're variety. But all the other shadow bar coins are all dye-wear. Or dye fill. Depends what happens there, but dye-wear with that. It's not dye fill. Did not see if there's any cuds all over it. Normally there are. Oh, amazing. They're the worst out of all of them for the errors on them at the back, the 2010. Then your 13 and 16. I'm not sure which one of them, but they're both as bad, let's say. But 2010s are the worst for getting cuds on the back of them. They get really bad all around. Oh, I saw that underneath. Where's the incuse? See if there's any dye cracks there. No. 21, a lot of 21s though. They made 11.5 million of these, 11.5 million of 22s. So we're going to get saturated with these. That's all you're going to keep finding and turn over, I reckon, for a long time is the 21, 22s. Looking for the crop circle on this, and that's that reading there. Right about there. Fruit Loop, the donut, that's what it looks like. Double bars, no, double bars. Nope. Nothing happens on them. 2004, looking for the double bars. Other than that, nothing. The lamination flaws, if you're lucky, or if you might find a tiny cud, you know, dye chips somewhere on these, but otherwise nothing happens on the 84s. Mainly from 99 onwards is where you'll find all the errors starting on all these 50-cent pieces. In fact, it is 99 onwards. I can tell you that with confidence. The ones prior to 99, 99 itself and prior. That's when they changed that. So it's when they changed over the effigy, you know. So yeah, 99. So yeah. So under that, yeah, you try finding things with cuds and die cracks and stuff on them. See how rare they are. Any of those years under there, very hard to find. But you go 1999 onwards, and that's where you start finding all the die chips, die cracks, everything starts happening. Missing legs. I don't know. Well, I'm sort of talking like all the coins basically. I was saying all coins from 99, every denomination, but definitely the 50s, that's for sure. So you know, like 98 and down, you're looking for top quality stuff to go into your sets, and all the varieties that are down there. And as for your errors down there, well, you can look, you know, check all your coins, but don't expect much down from 98 down. If you're looking for errors, you want 99 and up for consistent errors. 99, 98 and down will be inconsistent and rare and pretty scarce to find. So, but 98 down would be looking, you know, you can 98 to 69. You can get all your coins. You can get all your coins in almost uncirculated condition. They're all in there, every one of them. Now, if they're not there today, somebody will put them in there tomorrow. They'll always be in there. But 99s and up, they're all in there. But also all the errors are starting to appear then. And then, of course, varieties right through from 69 onwards, 66 onwards. For the 50s. There you go, look, top notch Queensland. Unbelievable, huh? So that's, you know, Queensland's got to be Tassie next after Northern Territory, hardest, then Queensland. Then West Australia and New South Wales, Victoria, be the easiest, with me here anyway. So that's top notch, that's 3 of them, beautiful. The Queensland's, I think, 2.4 million, South Australia 2 or 2.1, and Northern Territory is 2 or 2.1. So these are the lowest mint with the Norfolk Island, pretty sure Northern Territory, that's why they're hard to find. But they're all between 2 and 3 million. New South Wales is the highest, I'm pretty sure, 3 million. Victoria comes in at 2.8 or something. Is it Cook tilted? No, that's a dead flat 7. Now see, dead, you can tell straight away. Well, I can. The actual 7 looks like, you know, you could say it's tilting left a little bit. That flat one, a flat 7. So you put it across the 0, and it goes across the 7 and the 9. Alright, and now this cookie here, he's tilted to the right. So let me show you, try and get that on there. So that one down there is dead straight. 079. This one here, I'll put it across the 0 and the 7, it misses the 9, see? Only just. This is the lowest, slightest tilted to the right 7 that you can get. So if you're collecting them, there's your flat. Your next one is this one. Then your next one is the next 7 that tilts a little bit more. And then there's another one. And then I'm positive there's four different tilted 7s. But this is the hardest one. It's just. So that's your straight 7, standard. And that's your tilted to the right 7, just off. That's the very first one. And then you get 3 more that are tilted further. That's really good. That's a good start for all 5 there. I should do that and put them together for you. I will. I'll keep those two because I've got the flat 7 and I've got the hardest 7, tilted 7 to determine between the two with it. And then I've got some others that, and we'll actually see how many I can find, how many tilted 7s that we got out there. Hey, we'll do a little, I'll do a little experiment with that one. But I already know that I've definitely got 3 tilted 7s, but I'm like more than sure that I've found 4 tilted 7s, and the straight 7 is the hardest to find. Alright, so that one flat is the hardest to find because the vast majority, 4/5 of them, are varieties. So that is the hardest to find. The standard, again, one of the varieties, one of the coins where the variety, where the standard set is harder to find than the variety. Just like the 99, $2. The variety, dime a dozen. The small head, standard head on the 99, $2. Try finding that. The $1 is the same. Try finding the small head 99 age persons. They're the same deal. The variety seem to have made it in and been minted more of. Here's an amazing find. Not just because it's a double bar. It's a double bar on a 79 that's actually in decent nick. That's why that's a good find. Because 24 mil, there, you know, you don't get them in that condition. I've got one here that I found prepared earlier. There, so there's the 79, and that's standard 79 condition. There's that one, even with that coloured greeny crappy. That's standard. So that's pretty good in comparison. I wouldn't tell you anyway, but if it wasn't, but it is. It's a good find. You don't find them like that. Pretty hard. And yeah, real clear, double bar too. That's what I like about it. How you going, Julie? Sorry, when did you drop in? Up there. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to check that crop circle. So Julie's got the 2021 with the crop circle under the beak, which is the donut one. And as I said, I don't know if that one has got the dot in the 50. The full dot under the beak that I've got, the 3 of them have all got the full dot on the 50, inside the 50. Just right in there in the 50, matching dots. But Julie, I haven't found the one underneath that's the donut crop circle for me to be able to have a look to see if there's a dot there. Because if there's a dot here starting, or one there, and that crop circle there, then it is the precursor to the full dot with the dot here, the double dot. So I really need that crop circle one to be a double dot or a double crop circle, but at least I have something here. Then I know that it was the same die progressing on. It turned into a full dot and a full dot. So she's going to check that out and find out. And give us some intel. 96, look, crap. 2013, yeah, they get pretty bad. There with the 10s and the 16, they get shocking. Come on, NQs. Not today. Die cracks, die cracks. You get fat letters, just die wear, that's all it is. Die wearing and getting wider, and as you get die wear, as it gets wider, and the letters get wider. What sort of dots on there then? Where's that? 83, shadow bars, 15, just looking for cut errors all around them, basically on that one. Alright, let's get into the next. I'll bring it up a bit closer. It's easier for me. I can look underneath and check. But as I get down, it gets back in the right size. Saves me playing around with the camera too much. And see what's on there. But there's tons of coins. I just know nothing happens on them. If anything did happen on them, it'd stand out. And I'll pick it up straight away because as long as nothing happens to them, that's nice, but it's not the variety. 22, no, nothing there. No snake eyes. 75, 16. Man, I've got sore wrists, and my wrist, just from there, yeah, I love playing Guitar Hero, on the old 360. I got all the Xboxes, I got them all right back to Atari. I've been playing video games since '74, just don't stop, love them, any of them, doesn't matter. Racing, shoot, it doesn't matter. Love all of them. Anyway, so I decided to dig out the old 360, put that back up and on. So I got a special Halo Edition X here. And anyway, I've been thrashing the old Guitar Hero World Tour. Oh, my wrist, because I get arthritis and carpal tunnel and everything. But yeah, that was a bit of fun. Getting it out and pretending that I'm some rock star that can, play Stairway to Heaven like with my eyes closed, Yeah, the incuses, yeah. They're probably, the other day I said that they're probably one incuse flag for every four to 600, that's about as close as I could put it, between 400 and 600 millenniums through your hand, not 50 cents, but the actual millennium, to every incuse. So that's a lot of noodling, for that. But yes, so yeah, 1 to 600. 1 to 500, 1 to 600, very high. That's another 97. I'm not worried about. I've got 2 good ones there. It's horrible. No crop circle. 2004. No cuds on the lips. As you can get. 2013. Cuds all around here, which it does have there. Nice big chips out of the die, and the 5 to shield. Nothing on the heels, nothing back, nothing at the top, nothing down there. So you got die chip here, and the 5 to read. There's a weak spot in these. They all tend to do it. So yeah, nice cuds there. What was that? 2013. I said 10, 13, 16. 10's are worse than 13 and 16's are pretty much even for that. Standard 94. Might get it just to show in case I find a wide date. I'll show you the difference. Look, 96s. Just can't get them. Horrible. 2001. You get the trail lines. I haven't been looking. I've got plenty of them. I'm looking for the die crack off that emu. Whizzing emu. All the photos are in my albums on my Facebook. I've got all the stuff I tell you about. It's all there in pictures for reference to go back and look. No crop circles. And my Facebook's the same as name. Well, it's my email, my Gmail, my actual channel name, Howard Doggett. But my nickname is Howard's Coin Finds, because I'm pretty sure if I get, how I gather is once you've got 25 followers or friends, I'm not sure which one it is, friends, you can change your name then. So then I can change it to just straight at Howard's Coin Finds. But meantime, it's Howard Doggett, and they allow you to do a nickname, which is crazy. So I put the nickname as Howard's Coin Finds, which is next to it. But I've got to have 25 before I can actually make that Howard's Coin Finds as my permanent name for my Facebook. Crazy. Oh, what are you Jobby, you mustn't be finding too much, buddy. I mean, you got a chance of finding stuff, but if you're going down to Woolies to buy what, your milk and bread, and you get $3.85 in cash out change, yeah. Well, you get $1, $2, $1, $1.50, a 20, a 10, 5, 2, yeah. One of each denomination to check. But yes, I do too. I do it at the post office and that. I'll try and I'll give them whatever because yeah, look, I've been given change and pulled out a couple of varieties. Never anything that's jumped out. It's just been varieties basically, or a nice coin, nice condition. But anywhere you can get money to check that's come from somewhere else is giving you that lottery chance of just by chance getting a coin. Nice double bar and 79. It's clear, but that's a standard 79. I forgot. I'm trying to think of my best one. What did I have? Oh, I'm trying to think what I had now. Oh, it was a 1981 3.5 claw, Canadian minted. I got change given, and in there it was, well, uncirculated, but it was given in the change, so almost uncirculated. It was just absolutely spectacular. That was good because I got $40 for that, so I was happy with that. So yeah, that was probably the best change given, because I haven't been given the coronation. Well, I was given coronations when they came out. I was given 9 of them that somebody had, and yeah, 9. I sold them for $9 each. I sold them. They were almost uncirculated straight away on eBay. I put them on for $9 each, and they're all sold. And now, same coin, 100 plus for the almost uncirculated. They were basically uncirculated. But who knew? That was back then. Well, I should have known, because I've been doing stuff before that. But some coins take off, some coins don't. It's the second year after the poppy. You didn't really see the poppy because that was all through the RSL. Their stand sitting down. So it was really the 2013s kicked off being out in the wild. And well, second colour coin for, I don't know, never really kicked in. I suppose heaps of us out there probably didn't realise it didn't hit home. Yeah, and that's been a lot of stuff that I've had passed through my hands. But you can't hold everything, can't keep everything. You can, but if you're rich, plenty of money. Look at that, that's round. How round is that? There's me round. I got around 50 cents, eh? A nice round 74. Now I'm going to have to check it, but yeah, I don't know if it's a ram strike, It doesn't seem it to me. This has been in and rounded. But I'll have to check it. If that's a ram strike, yeah, man, I'll be laughing there. That's a fine. But I just think because whatever it's been used so much, it's just pushing that down and pushing it down. It's just pushed them out. You know, it's a nice scallop shape and that. But from 74 to now, man, that could have just been in the pokies and never went anywhere else in its life up in New South Wales there. And it's just gone in and just round and round and round in the laundromat, in the parking meters. You got to think outside the box. Before we had our dollar coins, when it was dollar notes, this was the biggest denomination. Everything was taking 50 cents. And some coins get trapped in a void. They don't get out of where they are, especially inside a casino or something, and they just get trapped. Yeah, it could have been down at West Point Casino and spent all its life down there. And that's been open the longest. But yeah, it just doesn't have the characteristics to, well, it does a little bit to ram, but you can see in between's folded too. So that's been through some hell. I mean, to get it like that, you know how much naturally to get it like that, how many machines this thing's had to go through. That take a long time, and that's why I think it's just been trapped. Wherever it's been trapped. Hasn't got out of the cycle it's in, and just continuously used. Because it's not ground down or anything, so it hasn't been used that way. And you got your beveled edges. But that's a really good example of a well-worn coin. You know, it's really been used in a machine. And it's all even all the way around, so whatever it's gone in, it's always been in the same thing. Everything about it is even. So it's been continuously used in the same apparatus, whatever the hell it is. It's been continuously used in it. And so yeah, that's a keeper, because you know, it's not worth anything. And that one, I don't condone things. This one, there's no condone in this one to create this. The person would have to be mad. You'd have to stand there for years just pushing it through the same bloody 50-cent coin slot. Out and in, 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 out and in. Jeez, it'd take ages to wear your 50 cents down. Try and get a file on it and see how you go. Or sandpaper running around. You can't do it. So that is really good to keep, because it's very hard to show an example of how much wear these 50 cents will take. Even when the edges are gone, that coin is still perfect. It's still, there's nothing wrong with that coin. And it's shown how well that'll wear when it's put into a situation where it's worn, used, whatever, all the time that was used. And it put up really well. Really, really well. That's good design of that 50 cents. It proves that 50 cents design is really good, because once it gets them off, it can be still no problem at all without them. Yeah, they'll be around hundreds of years, mate, these things, believe me. That's really good. I had one the other week I found, I showed this, but not as good as that. The old laundromat 50 cents. But not just laundromat, you got to think of the pokies. They were around for years and years and years before 84, before we had the $1 coins. And I remember carrying buckets of those around up in Echuca, Yarrawonga, Albury, all along the Murray. Buckets of them, you know, and they're so heavy. You get a win and you fill up 3 buckets full of 50s. But yeah, they were huge, so they've been in their pokies for a long time. That's it. I'm done. All right, I'm done. That's it. So long. Goodbye. 79 to 80 double bars. Yeah. Nice. 69. Cook tilted 7, lowest one, and a straight 7, and the lowest and hardest tilted to the right 7, this one, that's your flat 7, and it's just tilted. It's like 1 degree difference. That's the lowest, and there's another 3 after that, so that's a good start. The straight 7, hardest one to find. All the varieties are, because there's more varieties than the standard. And then the next one, and then another 3 tilted 7s to go with that to get 4 tilted 7s, all different angle with that. So that's a little thing to try and complete the Captain Cooks. And then beautiful 3 really, 2 really hard ones to get. Northern Territory, South Australia, that one first, then North, and then Queensland comes in there too. They were only 2.3 million made, I think, of them. So that's pretty good. 17, 13, got all the cut errors on there. 17's got the Roo Reed, was that 17? Yeah. I'll bring it up. He's got the cud on the back of the Roo. This was the other one. It's got the cud bottom there. And on the 5, Shield the 5, 2013. And then 2 97s. I can go back out. Really nice 97, this one. 4.3 mil. Another one. You get the shadow bars on these, which they don't have. But not that one. I'll keep that. I've got plenty of 90s. You'll find your 97s every day of the week, but you won't find them like that every day of the week. No way. No way. That's. I mean, of all the coins looking down here, that's the most. Oh, Cook looks. That one's uncirculated, of course, and it's got that silver mist of luster on it. But this one for straight out shiny, which is the other ones. You get them like that and you get them shiny. This thing just stands out above all the coins here, even above that 19. It's even better than that 19. And that 19 is an error coin too, because it's got the red cud on the back of the Roo. Right there. So it's a 2019 JC, 2 million. So that's 3 cut errors there, 13, 17, 19. And what else? Oh, and whoever was really upset at one of the governments, one of the states, they defaced the Queen, crossed out the eyes and gave her a mask. So that's a protest coin right there. 2020 protest. They should, so they couldn't even get out to get the right year coin because they were locked up at the Settlefield 14. Yeah, so that's a curiosity. I don't condone that at all. You know, it's totally illegal. Don't condone it, but you know, I'm going to keep that because that's a dead set protest of, you know, shove the masks, is what they're saying there, for sure, with the cross up here, donating that. But they went to a lot of work, and you can see the copper underneath too. But they heated it up after. It's black that side, not that side. You can see the rainbow coming through. They heated it, they burnt it. They really got aggro, so they burnt the crap out of it and protested with a mask. So I haven't seen one of them before. Come on, get down there. Yeah, so anyways, that's it. What do I get? 6, 12, 15. 15 coins. So nice 69. Straight 7 and a tilted 7. Cook. That's the straight, that's the tilted. So 2 cooks. Protest coin. 3 2001s. Nice 97. Very nice 97. 280 double bar. 279 double bar. 2019 cud error on the Roo. 2017 cud error on the Roo. 2013 cut error or render shield. So error, 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 variety, 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 because I need one, low mint, and low mint with the error, 2 million. Yeah, that's it. Not bad. No 85s or no inkist flakes, but anyhow, I'm happy with that. It was a good little go through, little check, see what's going on. If I've missed anybody, hello, hello. Oh, Paul, how you going? Just caught you up the top there. Michael, how you going? I don't know who I've missed. Anyway, hello to everybody that I've missed. I don't look left, so there's Michael all the way up there. So just I'll get around to looking over and seeing who's here and saying hello. Yeah, the mask on the Queen. Yeah, that's funny, yes. Oh, please show again at the end. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, Deadpool. Not really. Michael, Julie. Oh, Julie wants Federation coins, do you? I put 4 sets on eBay. 4 sets together in one hit, not separate. They're all my best coins I got too. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I'm gonna go and have some brekkie or something of some sort. I'm looking at, oh yeah, that's why I'm only 5 seconds out. Yeah, so yeah, quite happy with that. So I've got to see what I've got here to go with them. I need Norfolk Islands. I know I can't make another set because I need Norfolk Island. And probably, I'm not sure how many I've got left over because I put 4 sets on eBay. They're 4 sets together, not individual, and they're sets of 10, so 9 plus Federation, and they're all the best I've got. All the sets here, the best I've got, best I've found, they're all in there. And then I've got 1 set, I'm missing the Norfolk Island, I think. No, I have to have a look. I've got 1 set I'm making up of all the worst coins that I've got, all the worst Federations, you know, dirty and whatever. And I'll just make up a cheap set of dirty ones. All right, anyway, so till next time, I'll catch everybody. Yeah, I've still got to do these mail calls from Wisey and from Sender Georgie, which I'm getting to. I just needed to get these coins done though, now the way. So I might be back later on with them anyway. I'll see what is in store for today to do. Actually, it's lunchtime anyway, pie time. Oh, yeah. All right, I've got to go. Okay, thanks for dropping in, and I'll catch everybody later. Have a good Sunday. All right, ta-da, bye-bye.